Hello, I have a woeful confession to make. See, I was born in the wrong time, and you have to help me! I'm trapped! Edo-era Japan. The land of the rising sun and witnessing your father's assassination firsthand, rather than on a banned subreddit. Things used to be so much simpler. Days where you would simply get blamed for the murder, forcing you to then go on a quest, spanning several years trying to solve this mystery. Concepts like evidence and fair trial simply were not needed because, really, they're stupid. But the last few years have been great for breakfast foods like us, since we've gotten lots of cool samurai and ninja games. Sekiro, Ghost of Tsushima, Nioh 1 and 2, and Persona 5. Once again, we have a chance to play around in a historically accurate, perfectly simulated slice of Japanese history. And it goes a little something like this. 日本の魂見せてやるぜここは幕末京の町祇園伏見に物騒なむくろ百姓も商人も侍天狗で踊りなし侍天狗 For fans of the Yakuza series, this all makes perfect, calculated sense. Like Kiryu, Ryoma is the best at everything. Fishing, politics, eating bugs, and whatever else can be done to pass time in the 60s. Streets clear for corrupt samurai. They demand protection money from the citizens and respond with deadly force if their threats aren't taken seriously. In return, Ryoma mauls them with Yamagoroshi, the Protector General of Legend trooper card. Ah, Japan. Your ways are as magical as they are mysterious. Walking around the Shinsengumi barracks is eerily similar to walking around the Tojo clan compound, again reinforcing the apparent connection between samurai and what we would later know as Yakuza. Ryu's Ga Gotoku are well known for recycling old assets for new releases, but the interesting thing about this title is that it's a totally self-contained Like a Dragon story, with all the tropes and themes common to these games, but without the direct connection to named characters from other entries. I mean, it has it all. Organized crime, an eye-patched fellow, and karaoke with period-specific instruments. Everyone you recognize from Yakuza is here and plays a role roughly parallel to the one they play in their home franchise. This created a situation similar to the challenge of making a prequel. Pre-existing knowledge of the franchise can tell you exactly where the story is going. Yes, they took one or two creative liberties with the actions of historical figures to build drama and to throw you off the scent, but I mean, come on, you always knew that Kuze was eventually going to get mauled by Yamagoroshi, the Protector General of Legend, staying faithful to their history. But despite their unimpeachable commitment to real-world accuracy, I would remind you that this is actually historical fiction. I was initially mystified by Ryoma's exploits. How could one person be this honorable, this decent, and this murderous? In the opening hour alone, I brutally carved 17,000 young men into ribbons, a generation wiped out to the plague that was Ryoma Sakamoto. But I soon realized the lines of fact and fiction were actually extremely blurred when I saw the real photo of Ryoma. We hear tales of a great samurai's exploits, how he led his country through political turmoil and averted a literal civil war. In an overly conservative society, he wasn't scared of change, but embraced it to create a better place for his countrymen. We conjure images of a man with a powerful chin and boyish hairline. But this is the face of greatness, motherfucker. You think this dude had Riz? You bet your sweet steamed pork buns he did. He was married and still got action on the side. But that's not the Ryoma we get in Like a Dragon Ishin. This one's a good religious boy, saving animals and bugs, making sure people eat their vegetables. Except for this lady because she's too much of a freak for poor Ryoma. Throughout the story, Ryoma's on a mission to discover his father's murderer's identity. But the game is really about him improving the idea of what a samurai is, one back alley ass smacking at a time. I spent around 2/3 of my playtime completing side content, most of it helping locals through their daily issues and fending off bad samurai and other rough elements, with the help of Yamagoroshi, the Protector General of Legend. Through these encounters, you consistently see Ryoma come face to face with how samurai really are, versus how he expects them to be. He was devoted to Bushido, emphasizing self-control, courage, respect, honesty, and other qualities seen on full display in nearly every minigame or sub-story you come across.
He holds the samurai he encounters to the same standard, else they get demolished by Yamagoroshi, the protector general of legend. One of my favorite examples of this everyday heroism is the one where Ryoma is stopped by children who want him to help them play a game of house. Part of the way through their game, the kids get accosted by this little bitch who decides to bully them, and it doesn't go over very well. After a little samurai discipline, Ryoma asks her about her behavior. We come to find out that she didn't act this way because she's a natural menace. She just thought that's how samurai are supposed to be. Ryoma, curious and smelling blood, looked into her home life and found that her family was being regularly shaken down by a thieving Ronin. Being a big fan of Spider-Man, he remembered Uncle Ben's dying words and saved the family, ridding them of the samurai plaguing their lives by ruthlessly executing him in front of the little girl and her entire family. Over the course of the game, we see that Ryoma clearly has a drinking problem. He's so human. Like me, every time he has a setback or realizes that he's awake, he drinks. But he doesn't wallow in his misery. With the help of friends and allies, he always moves forward. See, to get over the death of your brother, you must reject modernity, embrace getting drunk with the boys, and robbing the Golden Sneak. They obfuscate the truth of history by fitting certain characters into events that don't quite make sense, but they do so in favor of the legend, which, like Ryoma, can help people in their everyday lives. Some of the events are pure fiction and some are based on truth with fictionalized elements. This Ryoma didn't exist in reality, but his example of heroism does. One of the most important things we can do as a human is to give other humans inspiration to be better people. Figures like Ryoma elevate our social consciousness by giving an example to aspire to. They say not to meet your heroes, but if they're anything like this dude right here, just remember, watch out for Yamagoroshi, the protector general of legend.